What'd you see out of Joel tonight?
Just his presence, his size, his presence, his ability to find ways to score. We played him at an elbow, we played him at a post, put him in some sort of two-man action, a little bit like we leaned on with JJ last year with Ferk, and for his first game back, it was pretty impressive.
Brett, what were your thoughts during your pregame ceremony, Connor Cody?
Just that it's surreal. It was incredibly sad. The reality that Kobe has passed gets a little bit more, for me, real. It's final. And, the impact that he has had on our game. And really, it's been interesting for me to see the connection that the basketball fraternity has in an incredibly sad way been forced to make. It's everybody reaches out. There is a connection that you feel as a basketball world. It's deeper than the NBA, and it's tough it's really hard to put into words that environment that we just left.
Due to that, Coach, was it hard to really come up with the right energy to really begin this game? It kind of seemed like you guys were a little...
I really chose not to coach at the start. You felt like you're cheapening the night. You obviously were trying to get us organized, but to come out and handle a game like you normally would handle a game, I would not be telling the truth if that's how we started. And that's that.
Can you go through the sequence again that led to Joel wearing 24 with Bobby Jones and everything like that?
I cannot.
But he called him this morning and asked him for permission?
I really don't know that story.
Okay.
Right.
What was the deal with Neto? He played 15 straight minutes. Was that just you just letting him go because he was playing so well?
As it was communicated to me, like I'm getting ready to have Ben come back in, and to Ben's, I suppose credit as a teammate, he sort of passed on down the bench to one of my assistants. Let's let him keep going. And I said that's an interesting selfless instruction, and so we did, and he rewarded us. I think what do you have 19 first half points. It's not something that you normally do. Going to let Ben sit there, but Raul had played so well, we decided to roll with it, and he certainly, I think, justified with his performance that decision.
How big is that for Ben, considering I think he's averaging 40 minutes over the 9 games?
Yeah.
So you can kind of give him a little bit of a rest there. How big is
I
that
mean, I think it adds up. I think it helps a little. Like he still, I'm sure, feels bulletproof at 23 years old. He plays so hard. He plays extended minutes. There's a part of that I don't feel entirely comfortable with. But he sure plays hard, and it doesn't seem to sort of like let off. I think that you look at his stats. He ended up 9 for 10 from the free throw line, 17 points. Him on normal terms, without Raul's sort of situation evolving, he's going to pepper a stat sheet again. And as I said, I respect the way it was communicated to me. Like it was his sort of instruction. Let's let Raul keep playing. He's playing really well. I respect that.
What did you see out of the young guys, both Shake and Zaire? Seemed like they handled themselves pretty well. Seemed like they belonged out there.
I think that's true. Zaire, who's taken a different path to now being on an NBA court. Shake, I suppose you could tell a similar type of story. Shake has been with us more than Zaire, but both of those two young players I thought did some good things. I think Shake was 5 for 6. You know, Zaire had some athletic plays. I ended up going with Shake down the stretch. And so yes, those two young guys I thought performed well.
You said you chose not to coach at the beginning of the game. How hard was it to gather the team for a basketball game, knowing the ceremony that was forthcoming and what they'd have to watch, you know?
I mean, it obviously, it wasn't hard to, I mean, this is our job, here we are. In relation to what maybe you're asking is like the detail of pick and rolls, the detail of even a first play. I know first play, you guys figure it out. You know, the detail of stuff that you go into a game, you felt disingenuous, like I didn't feel like it was appropriate for some bizarre reason. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, but for me personally, you're just kind of numb to stuff. And you hope that the dust would settle and the game would take its shape at some point. Nobody really knew when that was. I didn't. And that's just how I handle it.
How long did
Last
it
one,
take
guys.
you to start getting into coaching?
I don't know. I really don't. I just know that it was not at all a normal game for me. And I'm sure everybody else that I'm looking at.
Thanks, Brett.
Thank you.
Last